Good evening, everyone, and welcome to PJs with PJ, Pajama Talks with Pastor Jeannie. I am Pastor Jeannie Sortland, and I serve the United Methodist Churches in Kensal and Wimbledon, North Dakota. So happy Easter Monday. And today, I don't know if many of you know this about me, but I'm a soup maker. And I like to start with a soup bone, and boil it all day long and add different things at different times. In fact, I don't know how old I was before I really realized you could make soup without a bone, because that's how my mom taught me to make soup. And so, of course, we had ham yesterday. I shouldn't say of course, but a lot of people have ham on Easter Sunday. And I saved the bone, and so today I started making split pea soup, because that's one of our family's favorites, at least a couple in the family. Of course, not everybody eats it, because that's just how things go in a family of 6. And so I'd simmer it, and then my oldest would come up and say, "Is it ready yet?" And I'd say, "No, I don't even have the onions. So, okay, I'll put the onions in." And then he'd come up, "Is it ready yet?" "Well, no, I haven't put the split peas in." And then he came up, and I asked him to test it, because I really thought it was close. And he said, "Oh, it's really pretty good." And I said, "Well, do you think I should put in the bay leaf or not put in the bay leaf?" He said, I think let's put in the bay leaf." And so I threw the bay leaf in, and he grabbed his soup bowl and wanted to dish right up. And I said, No, you have to wait until the bay leaf is in there for a while and all the flavors blend together. And that's the beauty of soup. And so he was kind of frustrated. He was tired of waiting. And it got me thinking about patience a little bit. And partly because this weekend I had the opportunity to visit with a nurse. And I talked to her about her own personal feelings and experience as far as being a healthcare professional and preparing for this COVID virus. And she shared a little bit about, her nervousness, her fears about the health of herself, her family, and what it could do to the community and our local hospital. And in visiting with her, it seems like things are changing on a day-to-day basis, and that takes a lot of patience and a lot of commitment. And this nurse did happen to be a person of faith, and she was drawing very heavily on her faith in God at this time. And so before our time together was up, then I asked if I could pray with her. And it was meaningful for both of us to connect in that spiritual realm, especially on such a powerful holiday weekend as we celebrated the resurrection. And so today, as I was thinking about what am I going to talk about for PJs, I just had one of those days where my brain was kind of all over the place. And when that comes, I always think of how even when I can't put into words what I want to pray about, that God knows. And the phrase always pops into my head, "and sighs too great for words." And I think that's so much of what we have going on right now is our emotions and our feelings right now are almost too great for words. And so I'd like to read tonight out of Romans 8, starting in verse 18. "I consider that the sufferings of this present time are not worth comparing with the glory about to be revealed to us. For the creation waits with eager longing for the revealing of the children of God. For the creation was subjected to futility, not of its own will, but by the will of the one who subjected it, in hope that the creation itself will be set free from its bondage to decay and will obtain the freedom of the glory of the children of God. We know that the whole creation has been groaning in labor pains until now. And not only the creation, but we ourselves, who have the first fruits of the Spirit, groan inwardly while we wait for adoption, the redemption of our bodies. For in hope we were saved. Now hope that is seen is not hope. For who hopes for what is seen? But if we hope for what we do not see, we wait for it with patience. Likewise, the Spirit helps us in our weakness, for we do not know how to pray as we ought, but that very Spirit intercedes with sighs too deep for words. And God, who searches the heart, knows what is in the mind of the Spirit, because the Spirit intercedes for the saints according to the will of God. We know that all things work together for good for those who love God, who are called according to his purpose. And I read through verse 28 tonight in chapter 8 of Romans. And so I am grateful for the care that this nurse that I had the privilege of speaking with, for the care that she is giving her patients and her own family, and for the preparations that she has been part of making, and also for her faith in God, that to me just kicks up her excellent care by a notch or many notches. And so let's just please remember the people that are making preparations for all of this, because right now there's so much tension. Some people say this is all bunk. Some people say no, it's really critical, and some people are in the middle somewhere. And so there's a lot of pressures at play. But I am glad that you were with me tonight, and I just pray that all of you stay safe and healthy. Amen.